My name is Joshua Dairo, and today I'm going to be taking you through a very interesting topic. It's about challenges that Africa as a continent faces that limit its development. First of all, if you look at Africa, we have the most interesting sceneries. We have lakes, we have rivers, we have natural mineral deposits, we have the populations, we have everything there is to have for a nation or a country to develop, but we don't. Right? And you might ask yourself, why is that the issue? Why is that a country, that a continent which is so rich in natural resources, which is so rich in terms of labor, is still, if you look at it in the global level, its education system is still backward, its health system is still backward, our governments are very corrupt, our systems are all inefficient, everything let's talk about Africa is just bad. So the question that why is Africa, despite having all the advantage to become economically dependent and developed, why is it not? Right? Now you have to go back a bit. As compared to other Western countries in Europe, let's say Asia, Africa, most of its countries are poor. So even if we decide to take an initiative that we want to build a factory to help our people, that will be possible. That means we'll have to borrow money from companies like the World Bank, companies from big banks of the world, right? We have to borrow money from them. This brings me to the point of Western influence. Now, the Western world understands that Africa as a continent, if it decides to build its own factories to produce these things, they will be cutting them out of the supply chain. Being that they are poor in terms of natural resources, they will be limited. Their financial stability will be limited. And so that means if you go to the World Bank as an African nation to say that I need less than $300 billion or $1 million to build this factory, the World Bank is going to give you all the reasons not to, because they understand they can't give you that right to own the supply chain. So the first point, Western influence from Western countries and Western organizations limits Africa's ability to move forward. Again, but you cannot blame the West, you cannot blame external factors for Africa's underdevelopment. You have to come back home and look at Africa as a continent, look at these nations. We have corruption, we have families that are too dysfunctional. I think 8 out of every African kids you find, you see that they come from parents from parents that are not actually married. You see that most families are broken up, they are extended families, even if they are nuclear, they have all these issues. And then you look at our education system, we are still teaching our children to memorize things, when in fact we should be teaching them things like critical thinking, things like problem solving. We're not doing that. The West is doing that, but we're not doing it, and we expect to move forward. So you see, all these problems we have, you cannot blame them on the West part. You have also to blame Africa as a nation. Our governments, they do not collaborate with each other. We find that we are in a region, and all countries in that region are fighting against each other. We cannot develop if we're like this. But despite all this, there is still a chance. There is still a chance. Africa's biggest asset is its youth. It's the young generation that they are building. We have to build better schools. We have to instill better values in our kids. We have to show them what Africa can be. We have to allow them the dream, the right to dream. If they do not have the right to dream, then we cannot develop. We have to align them with the morals that we believe in as as Africans. We have to collaborate with each other. You see, our youths, our governments, our education system, the things that are taking us backward are the very things that can support us from there to the future. In conclusion, for Africa to become better, for us university students to make Africa better, we have to develop in ourselves. We have to develop better values. We have to gain better skills. We have to get skills, not just memorization, but skills of creativity, skills of problem solving, because we are Africa's future and we are not there. Africa is not there. So our governments, our education systems, please build us the new nation to come in the future. Thank you.